Powered by the Montana Television Network. This is Montana This Morning from Montana's news leader.
Good morning and thanks for kicking off your Wednesday with us. I'm Justine Stewart.
And I'm Louis Stewart. Hopefully having a good start to your Wednesday. And Justine, I made the mistake yesterday of opening the garage door like the early afternoon. I forgot to close it.
Oh no, leaves?
Oh my goodness, you go out there, garage completely filled with leaves. We had trees out in the front of our house. Lost all the leaves yesterday.
So did mine.
Yeah, it was just amazing.
And there's still power outages up in the Flathead area, so.
Yeah, with those winds gusting 50 and 60 miles per hour yesterday. And then also we got temperatures up in the 70s. It was just crazy with the weather yesterday. We're gonna slow it down a little bit today. However, it is gonna still be breezy. And then we do have a high wind watch in place for that area shaded in yellow there. And that's because we could see the winds pick up again tonight. This is from Wednesday 9 p.m. until Thursday 9 a.m. We could get those winds 35 to 45 miles per hour with gusts of around 75 miles per hour in that shaded area there. Now, here's your forecast headlines. Like I mentioned, it is going to be remaining breezy today and tomorrow with gusts around 25 to 30 miles per hour. Now, mild temperatures are going to stick around with 60s today. Warm front moves through tonight, 70s possibly again tomorrow, and then big changes start Friday with mountain snow and valley rain moving in for the weekend.
Well, damaging winds across the northern half of the Montana area wreaked havoc last night. Strong winds causing power outages and made driving treacherous along Highway 93 in the Bitterroot. In Stevensville, wind gusts knocked over a large tree, and that created a dangerous situation as wires were down across a 4-block area.
For now, the power company is advising us to stay away from any wires, even if they look benign, because with the wires touching each other, any wire could be hot at this time.
Crews responded at around 5 p.m. and immediately blocked off dangerous areas with any wires down. As crews were responding to that situation, another tree fell into the middle of the Stevensville Cutoff Road. That created a line of traffic as residents waited to go home. They say there were many serious situations throughout the night. One included power outages at stoplights along Highway 93.
Any traffic signal that is inoperative needs to be treated as a 4-way stop, and everyone needs to stop and proceed with caution in that situation.
Meanwhile, in the Flathead Valley, one of the hardest hit areas, thousands were left in the dark. Strong winds caused large branches and trees to fall into power lines, cutting the power off for long amounts of time. The outages stretched from Libby to Kalispell to Whitefish all the way to Glacier National Park. For over an hour, streetlights leading into Whitefish along Highway 93 were out, where police had to go and direct traffic. At one point, over 100 outages occurred, causing over 13,000 people to lose power. In Whitefish, downtown regained power at about 6 p.m., while other residential neighborhoods were still without power, and some still are. One Whitefish family had the entire top of a tree crash into their backyard and missed their house by only 5 feet.
Of course, we stock up on food, because you never know. So we could lose, a couple $100 worth of food, but that's all replaceable as long as, we're all fine. But we are looking forward to having some power back soon.
You can, of course, check Flathead Electric Co.'s website for a map showing those current outages. Kalispell leaders are trying to come up with the best way to turn the city's industrial core into an area that's better for business and pedestrians. And they're turning to some expert help from Denver, where the city pulled off what is considered one of the most successful urban renewals in the western U.S. MTN's Nicole Miller has more.
Within the next year and a half, downtown Kalispell is on track to see the removal of its train tracks.
For the railroad tracks to come out, the vision for the city is to create that walking trail through that 3 or 3.5 mile section of downtown Kalispell. It's a tremendous urban amenity that will be attractive for merchants, restaurants, and so on to front onto that walking trail, but it's also going to be of a tremendous interest to residential developers.
Looking for direction, city leaders, along with private and public stakeholders, such as downtown property owners, met with the head of Redevelopment Authority in Denver.
Denver undertook a revitalization of our downtown that started over 30 years ago, and we've been relatively successful with that.
Tracy Huggins, Executive Director of the Denver Urban Renewal Authority, led a small group discussion about the challenges, successes, and steps a community can take to promote growth.
One of the things that I think is really key is a strong commitment on the part of the public sector to really define what a plan, what a vision for Kalispell's downtown can and should be, but they can't do that alone. They really need to engage with the private sector, whether that is the property owners, the business owners, the chamber.
It is a long process. It happens in steps, but I think it's important to keep moving forward and help support that progress.
Reporting in Kalispell, Nicole Miller, MTN News.
The old train tracks are expected to be removed and replaced with the pedestrian trail by 2019. Biologists tell a University of Montana audience there are enough grizzly bears now to take them off the list of threatened species, but they say there's no formal move to do so. That assessment came at the University of Montana, which hosted a panel discussion about the future of the Northern Rockies grizzlies. Now that bears are delisted in the greater Yellowstone ecosystem, attention has turned to the grizzlies in the Northern Continental Divide ecosystem, including the Bob Marshall Wilderness Complex and Glacier National Park. With estimates of more than 1,000 bears in the NCDE, there's anticipation, but no formal proposal to remove their protection.
And the NCDE population is recovered. They both met their recovery goals, and the Yellowstone population was delisted in 2017. There is no proposal yet to delist the NCDE population. So that process hasn't even started yet.
The numbers are encouraging. Montana Fish, Wildlife and Parks researchers say 95% of the sow grizzlies are surviving now, and deaths caused by confrontations between bears and people are well within limits. The agency says the success is due in large part to people changing old habits.
We were just kind of irresponsible with the population, and people didn't really have to think about what they did in the backcountry. They didn't have to think about keeping their food put away. They didn't have to think about whether or not that ended up making a bear food conditioned and bringing about its mortality.
FWP has plenty of experience to take over grizzly management if the Northern Continental Divide bears are delisted in the future. The University of Montana will extend voluntary severance offers to eligible non-faculty employees as the school continues to hunt for ways to save money. Interim President Sheila Stern says the university must reduce the amount of its budget being spent on personnel, and offering the severance packages is a way to ease the potential for layoffs as tries to align its budget with current enrollments. The move comes after the school offered severance to tenured faculty earlier in the year. The university also is in the midst of prioritizing what it spends on academic programs and administration. University leaders will outline details of the severance offer on campus meetings today at 11 and noon in the University Center Theater. All right, it's 6:08 right now. That means it is time for your weather on the 8s.
All right, thank you, Justine. Good morning, everyone. The winds yesterday created some really creative pictures, some really impressive pictures yesterday up around Flathead Lake that I want to show you here. This was first sent in to us by Greg. Look at this. It looks more like the ocean instead of the lake up there, instead of Flathead Lake. Very impressive as those winds were gusting upwards of around 50 miles per hour. And then we had another picture sent in to us. This was by Wilma. Look at that. Flathead Lake looks a lot more like the ocean. It looks like a nice summertime photo that maybe you'd be sitting on a sandy beach somewhere, but no, up there at Flathead Lake, again, the winds just creating some very epic conditions up there. Now, for the most part, the winds have moved out. We are still going to keep breezy conditions in the forecast for today. So what I want to do now is go ahead and time out the next several days for you here, because we know it's going to be mild today and tomorrow, then a big cool down, and then looks like we're going to start to warm back up as we roll into next week. So to do this, we're going to go to our jet stream forecast. We'll stop this tomorrow at around 9 a.m. You see how we get this ridge forming, warmer air beginning to build in from the south and southwest. That's why, again, temperatures in the 60s, possibly lower 70s by tomorrow afternoon. Now watch as the big change rolls in starting Friday. Big dip in the jet stream, cooler temperatures. We're talking about rain showers and high elevation snow starting late Thursday night. And that looks like we're going to have a chance of seeing all of these showers Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. As we roll into next week, though, Look how we start to get another ridge beginning to form out west with much cooler temperatures off to the east. So we're going to bring in another chance of temperatures starting to warm right back up into the 60s as we roll into Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday next week after seeing highs only in the 40s starting on Friday. Now today, as far as your temperatures go, we're going to see cloudy to mostly cloudy skies here in northwestern Montana. I do want to point out here though, extreme northwestern Montana right along the Idaho and Montana border. Here places like Troy, Libby, Trout Creek, Thompson Falls over towards Eureka. This is where we have a chance of seeing some light rain showers by late afternoon and evening. Head further off to the south, we'll see clouds this morning, then skies slowly clearing with some sunshine by the late afternoon time. Missoula, 7-day forecast, 63 today, 70 tomorrow, then a drop into the 40s Friday and Saturday, with those rain showers developing as well. Kalispell will see 50s and 60s today and tomorrow, slight chance of a shower, and then 40s for the weekend. And then Hamilton, 63 today, 70 tomorrow, 47 on Friday, 48 Saturday.
All right, well, thanks, Lewis, and make sure you do stick around. We're right back after the break, but first, here's some birthday shout-outs for you this morning.